This rumor has been circulating the internet like I've never seen. It's caught wildfire among Doctor Who fans, and I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't seen any evidence of that. I haven't had any of my Bad Wolf contacts confirm it or anything like that. But this could be interesting, and I could see the BBC doing it for one reason, which I'll get into in just a moment. Please hit the like and subscribe button as we talk about all things Doctor Who, and especially science fiction. I'm a science fiction writer myself. If you like my thoughts on science fiction and you're really going to love my Oration War trilogy. I'm actually building a leather-bound edition of this right now, getting this all set to go because this has been so popular recently, especially with Doctor Who fans. It's a space opera. It's about a human who embeds himself on an alien starship, has to fight for humanity. It's a lot of fun. Go check it out. It's in the description below. It's available on ebook, print, and audio, and there's a full trilogy, like I said. I think you'll really enjoy it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and supporting our artistic efforts here. All right. So, yes, Billie Piper is apparently being considered to be cast as the 16th Doctor. Oh, how exciting about that. Wow. This would be very, very interesting. Now, there's a lot of rumors going around about what's going on with Doctor Who right now. Obviously, Ncuti Gatwa's era has absolutely failed like none other before. Of course, the only one that failed even close to this was Jodie Whittaker's era, the one before this. And naturally, the trend that the BBC and, of course, Disney wanted to do was to play with identity politics with Doctor Who. That's exactly all it was about. In fact, they started getting into that a little bit in the Peter Capaldi era, of course, with the companion after... what was the companion's name after Clara? Jeez. I think it was Bill, right? Oh, my gosh. It got weird with that, too. And so they've been leaning in this direction for a while and just circling the drain for a while. Poor Peter Capaldi. He deserved better writing for his era. R.I.P. Peter Capaldi's era. That really is a sad thing as an aside. But really, since Jodie Whittaker, at the very least, it's just been an atrocious train wreck of just pushing DEI. That is the message of Doctor Who now. It has nothing to do with science fiction, nothing to do with cool concepts. In fact, the new era with Russell T Davies returning with Ncuti Gatwa, they said that it was going to not be science fiction anymore. It's going to be leaning into fantasy. And that's why we got the weird goblin ship with the singing in the first episode. Oh, my gosh. I'm having PTSD flashbacks of just how bad that was. And it got worse from there, believe it or not. And that's what it's been. Now, of course, this last season has been the absolute worst. The ratings have been atrocious. It's been the lowest of all time. They're breaking records every single week for low ratings, which was shocking. I never thought it could even go this low. This is something I thought there was a baseline of Doctor Who viewership. There's not. I mean, people have just tuned out. And if you look at the theme of this season, it's even weirder. What they're doing with all of it is lashing out at fans, lashing out at critics, lashing out at YouTube channels like this one. It's very clear that they do watch every single time, and they are paying attention to us, as much as Russell T Davies gave a interview a couple of weeks ago saying he doesn't have time to pay attention and the like. He's writing this stuff into the episodes. It's very, very clear what's going on here. So with all this, there's been rumors about what's going to go on with the show. We know that Disney has not re-upped for a third season so far, and that they were, quote, waiting until the end of season 2 to see what they were going to do with the show. There is no Christmas special this year, so that's breaking a time-honored Doctor Who tradition. That's been going on for a long, long time because obviously there's no funding for that, and they don't know where it's going. They don't have a doctor right now. Now, of course... There's a couple other rumors that have been circulating about that Russell T Davies is going to be out as showrunner. That is something that was amplified on the David Tennant podcast when he spoke on there and kind of speculated about who was going to be there after him. On top of that, there's been a lot of rumors that Gatwa has been out and that he's going to be ending his tenure as the Doctor as well. Now, this has been amplified, and I've actually had a leaker talk about things that are going on with Inside Doctor Who. They said that the last episode was recut with a regeneration scene. And refilmed, and so that has been done now, and so it looks like that's happening. And the rumors I had from that have come true so far, that there was going to be an episode following up on Midnight, which happened, that there was going to be a return of Joe Martin as the fugitive Doctor, which was done as a cameo in the last episode. Can't believe they actually did that. Now, of course, there's a couple plot details that were coming on about these mysterious god entities that are coming about, and what's going to happen with that. And then if those come true, we know that the final thing that's happening is apparently Jodie Whittaker returns for a cameo in the final episode as well. This gets kind of interesting right here. Now, the regeneration scene apparently, from what I've heard from my leaker, does not have a person he regenerates into. There's not a 16th Doctor cast, so they don't have that. And so it just leaves it open-ended, and we'll see what happens on that level right now. Now, so of course, since that leak has come out and people have been talking about our work we did on Fandom Pulse to break those rumors, if you guys don't sign up for it's fandompulse.com. This is where you'll get all the Doctor Who stuff up front. I write articles every single day. Thank you, guys. Then the rumors now are about the casting that's happening, and this is going on Reddit and Doctor Who leaked Discords, and yes, we'll get to the Billie Piper stuff in a moment. So at first, the first thing I saw was these are the two actors BBC are apparently considering for the 16th Doctor. Reliable sources at Gallifrey Base and Doctor Who leaked Discord channel have shared that Richard Gadd and Ambika Maud are apparently two actors considered by the BBC to replace Gatwa, who will depart the show later on this season. Now, that departure has not been confirmed again, but I've heard enough to where I'm very sure that's actually happening at this juncture. And I'm pretty sure Russell T Davies is going to be out, despite what this post says. The source also heard actress Sade Malone and Agnes Casey were being brought in earlier discussions. They're not sure if anything came of it. And you see actresses, right? They're trying to cast a woman again. Now, there's a lot of talk. There was another one from that was a big list of different actors and actresses saying that they are looking predominantly and mostly for a female, which is a crazy sort of thing. Like, the Jodie Whittaker reception was very, very bad for the Doctor, and people did not like that. People did not like where that was going, and of course, that kind of ruins the character, turning him into some, weird transgender allegory thing, which is what they're trying to do. So going back to that would be a weird thing. Like, I don't know why they would go back to that at this point. I think it would be a terrible decision, and it wouldn't be getting Doctor Who fans back whatsoever. But as you can see right here, it says the BBC and Russell T Davies now have a clear idea of where the show is going. Whether this means a Disney Plus deal is still going ahead is in question. They're now starting to begin the process of finding a new Doctor. Now, that's interesting. I saw other posts saying that Russell T Davies has written a third season in hopes that it's going to be showing up. But oh my gosh, I really hope that he's out at this point too, because you need new vision behind this. Russell T Davies clearly doesn't have it anymore. He phones this stuff in. He's past his prime. All he's doing is putting his identity politics into everything. It's terrible. It's what people don't want to watch. It's not the actor himself that's necessarily the problem. The writing is the biggest problem that you got to address first right here. But if they're already going for a female sort of situation, this is going to be a massive problem for them, because, again, I don't think fans want this whatsoever. I don't think they like the last female iteration of the Doctor, and that's where this Billie Piper thing gets kind of weird and comes in here as we talk about this stuff. According to another leaker, who may or not be the infamous Andrew, there's just a guy who leaked a lot about the 15th Doctor, turns out 15th open-ended regeneration may not be as open-ended as we thought it was going to be, and the 16th Doctor has apparently been cast. According to Andrew, she is female and familiar. Make that what you will. So, of course, we talked about females right here, actresses right here. And, of course, as this gets on, it looks like, and I've heard from outside rumors and outside people as well, that Billie Piper has been considered to be the Doctor. Now, this would be very, very weird. Because, of course, obviously she played Rose, so what would they do with that sort of situation? I don't know. Maybe they'd tie it in. But this is a weird kind of like halfway gimmick that might get them some press and might get some Doctor Who fans tuning in, at least to Rubberneck at the very beginning. And here's why. Everybody likes Billie Piper. Everybody liked the Rose character. That was the best. She was the heartthrob when this show relaunched originally. Big member berries on that front. Like, she is somebody people care about almost as much as David Tennant. And with this, of course, she had her little happy ending sort of thing where they put her in a different universe with this like kind of clone-ish Doctor or whatnot, if you remember that. And with that, that leaves it kind of open-ended and for a possibility of some kind of weird, timey-wimey comeback sort of thing. Now, how she ends up being the Doctor is a different thing. Now, if they make her into a completely different character, that would be really, really weird. But again, that's something you can mess with science fiction and the like. The reason I think they do this is because if they really want to go with a female Doctor and like actually push the feminism, identity politics crap again, which I think would be a huge mistake, at least this would get people to Rubberneck, because people would tune in and be interested in this. The media would pay attention to this. This would be all over the media. It'd be huge sort of talk and buzz about this. And these companies really like creating buzz out of things. And even though it's a short-term thing that doesn't last, of course, if Russell T Davies does the same thing, it's just going to fall right back off again. It will get people tuning in the short term, in which case they'll go, look, there are people who like Doctor Who, and they do love a female Doctor Who. look, the ratings for the first episode were the best in 10 years, right? They'll point to that and they'll declare victory right away. And this is what happens a lot with a lot of these shows. They do a lot of publicity stunts and identity politics stunts and then try to do this thing. You see it on Disney a lot. That Star Wars The Acolyte, they did controversial things intentionally. They put in weird LGBTQ stuff intentionally. The actress went out there and threw a fit, and then, of course, they did this whole, it's getting review bombed, and played victim and made a whole media narrative out of it to try to get people to watch it. Like I said, it didn't work, and it never really works. Sometimes it works, for the opening sort of thing. Captain Marvel's an example. Brie Larson kind of did the same thing for the MCU. And that actually worked for that one film. It got a ton of people out because there was so much buzz about it. But after that, people got tired of it, and it didn't work very well. The comic book industry tries this all the time, too. Oh, Captain America is dead, and now he's being replaced by a black disabled lesbian. Well, that gets news headlines, right? And then people might check out that all-new #1 issue, but they tune out right away really fast. And that's why I think it would be a mistake to do so. I like Billie Piper. I don't want to see her as the Doctor. My gosh, it's just please just leave it alone already. We gotta just bring it back to what it is. And honestly, what is Doctor Who? Who is your core demographic, BBC? It is straight white men who like this show. This is what it's always been. You got a few female fans and things like that, but you are not predominantly like that. And stop trying to turn these boys' franchises of action-adventure into girls' franchises. That is the whole thing that all of the mainstream media is doing, and it's a big failure. But that's why they would potentially do it. You got to take this with a grain of salt. I have no indication that she's actually been cast or not. I think it'd be too big of a weird fan fiction-y mistake to actually go through with. But again, it would generate some media buzz, and, these companies do like that. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Wild. We'll cover it all the way as soon as we know who a real 16th Doctor is. I'll cover that for sure. Hit the like and subscribe button, as I said. Did I already say that? I totally did. I'm terrible at this YouTube thing, but I'm really good at writing. They should actually have me bring in as showrunner after Russell T. Davies. I do a good job with it, my friends. Remember how they brought in Douglas Adams, a real sci-fi writer? Oh, those were the days. But yes, check this out, guys. The Stars Entwined. It's in the description below. Thank you so much for making our work a huge success. Really appreciate you. We'll be back soon.